Nearly half of Americans are now worried about their savings, more worried now than they were a year ago, according to a new poll by Bankrate.com about consumers' financial security, or these days, insecurity.
Yeah, that's really what it is. CBS News business and economics correspondent Rebecca Jarvis is here to tell us why Americans are so worried, perhaps some things it can do to make them feel more secure. So you're going to walk us through this poll a little bit. Americans are actually a little bit more worried about saving, and it's really not surprising given what we've seen with the economic climate and the job market.
Yeah, it's not surprising, and in particular, it's not surprising what we've seen out of the consumer confidence numbers. Consumer confidence right now is at its lowest point since 1980. 47% of Americans say that they are less comfortable with their savings now than they were a year ago. That's a pretty startling number because even though we know people are feeling less secure, a half of Americans feeling less secure than they felt last year is a big number.
What about their overall financial situation now as opposed to where they were a year ago?
Yeah, worse off. About a third of Americans feel that things are worse off now than they were a year ago. 35% of Americans say that it is worse now than it was a year ago. 19% of Americans say it's better now, and that's an interesting point as well. I mean, 19% in the context of these numbers is a significant number as well.
It could be. When we look at the future, so many people so concerned. Last week we talked a lot about what is going to happen to your 401k when we saw all this volatility in the market. How is retirement saving?
Well, what's interesting is overall savings. We know as savers, Americans have saved more. But when you think about retirement savings, a lot of that is tied to the market. So we do see that 29% of working Americans are saving less than last year. And part of that has to do with the fact that those savings are so tied to what's happened in stocks. So they feel like it's less money in their savings account.
All right, let's talk jobs. Cue the dum-da-dum-dum.
Right.
But,
yeah.
I mean, with unemployment still as high as it is right now, how are people feeling? Are they secure in the people that do have jobs right now? Are they secure in those jobs?
This is part of the problem because as many as 90% of the population is employed by the numbers. But that 10%, that 9% that doesn't have a job spooks everyone else. And everyone who has a job feels insecure. About a third of Americans between 30 and 64 years of age feel less secure about the jobs market right now. And that's really a sign of the times. Even if you have a job, like you're saying, Chris, even if you have a job, you don't necessarily feel like it's here to stay because things are changing and a lot of people are living in limbo right now.
They're living in limbo for the people, that 9+% of the population who does not have a job. Any tips on helping? I mean, we talk about it a lot, but any tips on helping them find a job?
Well, first of all, one thing is you can flip the perception around. And a lot of experts are looking at this as a time to say, listen, I am so hungry. It's not that I've been out of work for an extended period of time. It's that my hunger, my motivation to have a job, I will work twice as hard as the other person. What can you do if you are out of work? One thing is that you could consult or you could volunteer. Now, I understand a lot of people are saying volunteer. That's not going to put food on the table. But ultimately, keeping up the momentum, keeping yourself busy will enable you to get that opportunity in the future. And also explain the gap. Don't try and move around it. Explain it. Explain that your company, or for whatever reason your company may have downsized, and you are a wonderful employee. You have great resources and great references to bring to the table. That's unfortunately what you have to do in these times.
Right. CBS's Rebecca Jarvis. Thanks, Rebecca. Good to see you.